Good morning. This is going to be a big problem unless something changes before December. Last year, Congress passed laws to get Chinese drones banned in the Pentagon and other federal government contracts. And several states have also banned their use by local governments and by first responders. That's already causing issues in those states. President Trump followed up this June with a series of executive orders that will go farther and ban the import of Chinese-built drones by commercial and recreational users. Trump's EOs are intended to promote drone production in the United States and increases government investments to that end in the companies that build them. There is still a national security review of DJI and Autel, and if that formal risk assessment either recommends a ban or it doesn't get completed before December, both companies will be banned from selling new models in the United States. The problem is that China's drone industry is by far the biggest in the world, and all the supply chains for all the parts also run through here. Companies that use drones have no choice but to buy drones built in China. This is an American company, Proxim, who uses drones in its business operations. Their managing director says that only a handful of non-Chinese companies build drones, and so the prices are going up. The irony is that Proxim's parent company uses Chinese drones in the U.S. defense industry to inspect military aircraft. DJI and Autel will be banned from selling new equipment in the U.S. market after 23 December, pending the outcome of that national security review. Those and other Chinese drone companies dominate the world, but there's no getting around China on drone components either if a company wants to build their own. Aerostar Dynamics is in Pennsylvania, and they assemble drones but rely on Chinese parts. Bo Van Buren is out of Virginia, and most of their customers are first responders, police, fire and rescue, and they use drones from DJI. Their problem is that no American companies can even come close to DJI at a scale comparable to meet even U.S. demand. And when supply chain managers go poking around American companies that claim to build drones, turns out those come from China too. And that last line is a serious problem for U.S. policymakers. If DJI were banned, it's a big problem for public safety agencies in the United States. It would be one thing to kick out DJI and Autel and simply instruct American lifeguards and fire departments to buy drones from American companies at higher prices. But those don't exist, so the alternative is to do without, and doing without means that rescues don't happen and fires burn out of control. American farmers pose another problem because they are also heavy buyers of Chinese drones and equipment for farms and ranches. Mr. Bruntz here is a senior guy at the U.S. Meat Export Federation and was shopping for drones for his ranch. DJI was the only company that builds what he needed at a reasonable price. DJI's drones in particular are heavily used in global agriculture, both in the growing and harvesting of crops and in livestock management. He says he would prefer to buy American, but there are no options. Chinese systems are less expensive and more advanced. Switching to U.S.-built drones would be difficult and expensive, and American farmers would be at a competitive disadvantage to farms allowed to use Chinese equipment. More fun with math, that DJI sells more commercial drones than all the other companies in the world, times 9. And they're expanding quickly into agriculture and other industries. Their newest model has a tank for fertilizers and pesticides. 100 liters is just over 25 gallons with the next generation guidance system. We keep coming back to this, and I'm aware that I'm repeating myself. But American farmers are in a fight for their lives against farmers from South America and here in Asia and even in Africa, because farmers outside North America and Europe can buy new Chinese-built farm equipment at less than a third what it costs American farmers to buy tools from Deere or C&H. It is an enormous advantage whereby farms can immediately increase productivity at lower prices while our own farmers cannot. If these bans go through in December, they will no doubt benefit that tiny handful of American drone companies that cannot win any business as long as DJI and Autel and Chinese drone component makers have access to the market. But for everyone else, the American farmers and American police And American companies that build their own drones for their own custom use, they'll be stuck using equipment that costs more and does less. This is Luoping in Yunnan. Be good.
Love your enemies. Do unto others as you want others to do for you. Store up for yourself treasure in heaven,